Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. If you were looking for part 2 of the Fiat, this is it. If you haven't seen the purchase video part 1, I highly suggest you give that video a watch. I will link it in the description below. But this is the Fiat in question. This is a 2015 Fiat 500L. It does carry a rebuilt title. If I remember correctly, it was rear end damage, which was super minimal, but I purchased it like this. I purchased it from a Ford dealer as a non-running vehicle. And the issue was 4 fouled spark plugs. So replace the spark plugs, which were the most expensive spark plugs I have ever purchased for any vehicle. Cranked it over after we put a new battery in it, and it started, and it runs. But it runs a little rough. But with this car running, it did give us a code. It was for a cylinder 3 misfire and then like low oil pressure type of code. So I started to poke around, and I don't think I needed to look super far. I found the solenoids. I believe they're the solenoids, and I believe one of the connectors is broken. Here's our engine, and again, I didn't look at the firing order or whatnot, but I am assuming it is cylinder 1, 2, 3, and 4. And behind, we have these metal connectors. So this is cylinder 2, this is cylinder 3 that I disconnected, and cylinder 4 is right through this gap. So I disconnected this connector. It seems totally fine, but I believe that this part is the broken part because it has more play than any of the other ones. And from what I can tell, it seems like it cracked right back here. Now for me, this is my first Fiat. I have not purchased any Fiats before. I've never worked on them. So I don't even know how to get it out, or how to fix it, pull it out or whatnot, or how to confirm, but it definitely shouldn't be moving that much. I'm not even applying that much pressure, and it has a lot of play, and that tells me that it's most likely cracked. So I'm assuming in order to get to it, I'd have to disconnect this. Yeah, maybe disconnect these hoses, or just kind of move the whole assembly to the side. Maybe take off this bracket, essentially just move stuff out of the way, just that I could reach to it. I hope that it would just slide out. If not, with this out, I'd be able to get to the fuel line. And I don't know, is it held by bolts? Honestly, I cannot tell from here, but I am assuming that's my issue. Nick, if you saw the previous video, is a certified mechanic. He is the one who kind of went through the vehicle with me to get it up and running. I just sent him a video of what I just showed you guys, and he sent me his login credentials to basically like a mechanic service guide that will show me how to pull those out, repair them, and the steps that need to be taken. So I have homework to do, but hopefully it's not super difficult, and hopefully I could find the part, the connector, but it doesn't seem like it should be difficult. But again, it's a Fiat, so I don't know. But if that's the issue, then we get to fix that, do an oil change, which I have the filter oil for it already. Detail, that car's ready to go.
Much later.
Guys, the day is finally here. Finally here that I get to move forward with the Fiat. As you can see, trailer is prepped. Fiat is parked all the way on the end. New part came in. Let me open it up, actually pull it out. Hopefully the battery's still good. Well, something clicked, so oops. I just locked it instead of unlocking it. So hopefully it starts. Looks like we have stuff on the cluster. But yes, in this box is a new OEM part. I don't remember what it's called anymore. Beautiful, but we are still definitely misfiring. So let me, well, e-brake down, get it lined up, and then I will show you guys the part before I load it up on the trailer. It almost got delivered in like a cake box, if you will. Here's our new part. all shining, bagged up. But the part that went out essentially is the connector, black connector. It cracked underneath, and that's what I'm assuming is not sending the signal to the third cylinder, which is causing a misfire. And yeah, so this thing is getting loaded up, taking it to my mechanic now. Hopefully he can get it fixed, replaced. I don't know how much the repair is going to cost, but that part itself was $1,000. So a very expensive part, and it comes, you know, in one piece. Plus at the end of this, I still have to do an oil change, still get it detailed, but thankfully miles are super low. And with gas prices like whoo, through the roof, this is a very fuel economical option. So hopefully I will sell it, and hopefully within a few days it'll be done. But let me get this thing loaded up and dropped off with my mechanic.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Made it safe and sound. Had time to unload it and then load up the Q7. Hopefully this thing will get fixed. Hopefully.
Much later.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fiat. Well, welcome me back to the Fiat. This is the first time I am like officially driving it. I am nearly out of fuel, so hopefully I'll make it a mile from here to get fuel. But boy, did this car more or less not pay off. I am leaving my mechanic shop. We actually had to put a new motor in this thing. But he did drive it, it runs fine. He says it's super weak and slow, but he drove it enough where it passed DEQ, local emissions, so now we know there's no check engine light, no issues. But he put new plugs in it, new coolant, new engine oil, new filter, and we have a new engine. Although it does have slightly higher miles than what this vehicle shows. It shows 22,000. I don't remember what the new engine has, but I mean, it checks out, it's ready to go. So I am going to put some fuel in this thing, and then I am taking it to my detailer, get it detailed, cleaned up, and hopefully sold and forgotten about, because this was a slightly painful purchase. But again, it was a cool experience, and my mechanic said, please don't buy Fiats anymore. Although it's a small car, small engine, he said it is extremely difficult to work on. Parts are very expensive. I mean, it needs special oil, special spark plugs, and everything else. So he's not a fan, and honestly, I'm not a fan, but it's a very fuel economical vehicle, and with gas prices the way they are now, hopefully it'll go to a new home sooner rather than later. But the game plan is get it cleaned up, detailed, and off to its new home. Fiat is left with the detailer, and my wonderful Uber is here. You want me to drive, or are you driving?
I want you to drive.
Me? Okay, you got it. What up, y'all?
Got you some chocolate.
No, look at that. Well, thank you.
Several days later.
Guys, look at this. It is June, and it's raining. Why? Oh man, the longer I do this business, the more I struggle with this weather and climate and so on and so forth. But wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Wanted to let you guys know that the Fiat is sold. Fiat is gone. I sold it a few days ago. My profit on that car was roughly $2,500, somewhere around there. But 2 days after I sold it, the new owner reached out to me and said, hey, check engine light is on. And I had her send me the codes. There's a whole bunch of evap codes, well, 3 different codes. So I actually purchased various evap canisters and solenoids. There's 3 of them in total. Around $120 worth of parts, and she is supposed to drop it off today, tomorrow, and going to get those taken care of and replaced so that she continues driving it, continues being happy. So that's going to subtract from my profit a little bit, and hopefully that's it, and you know, not like a cracked hose or whatnot where we'll need a smoke test to figure out the root of the issue, but it's sold, it's out of my hands, and take care of the customer, make sure she's happy and everything is right. This was a tough purchase. Don't want to say that I regret it, but I'm just happy that it's over with. I'm happy that I made a profit. I'm happy that I'm moving on to another project, and I'm happy that you guys are with me. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you are not a subscriber yet, and I will see you guys in another video.